SHODO!
Hey guys, welcome to the 37th episode of the Soda Pop Podcast. I'm your host, Living Ranger Key, here with me.
Kori-san! Hontou no arigato!
And Malunis is here!
Yeah, it's me. Corey isn't here though, where is he?
Exactly, Corey is not here. I've had been gone for 2 weeks, and I show up and then Corey leaves. So, you know, that's how it works.
It's nice of him to it's nice of him to disappear when there's two of us.
Exactly, right? That's exactly what we need.
Yes,
so he's having some internet issues.
His internet service provider took his data. They straight up thefted his data, and now he's chasing them on a bus.
Exactly.
Data theft bus.
So yes, this prevented Corey from being on Soda Pop this week, as well as the streets last night. So he's just been having a bunch of internet issues, just not working for him.
Before I remembered that we were going to have O's content this week, I was going to say that he's been canceled.
But then, yeah, the data theft bust, that works out even better. So
it's a more forced joke.
It is, but it works. It's very topical.
Speaking of Force, we've got a character with a belt called the Force Riser coming up, but you know,
hey,
I think
that's good. That's a good segue, almost. If you want to go ahead and talk about it.
But I was also going to say that I do want to just start off with the bullet points provided by the blog itself. 1.
Absolutely.
SHODO AI 03. 2. SHODO O's review. 3. Wave 3 of the Candy Toy Progrise keys, and 4, that's more than 3, new Candy Toys figure series.
Yep. So, as always, they break up the blog post in like numerous different bullet points to make it easier to navigate.
Well, in this case, I think it's because of O's. The way that every episode opens up.
No, yeah, you're right. That's true. I didn't think about that. I mean, then again, I feel like they've been... I feel like they have been making the blog posts very like clear ever since the whole Aqua debacle, but...
Yep. Or I think more accurately, the Kashin debacle.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, now, how many figures does 01 have? Yes,
so
they revealed Horobi, Stinging Scorpion.
So he's our first user of the Force Riser to get a SHODO figure. We figured it would be happening at some point, especially in set 3, because it just hadn't happened yet. So I would assume that
they have once again been very generous with the paint.
Oh, absolutely. I
think the way they described it is it's another Bandai wallet situation or something.
Yeah, something like that. This year they just really keep stretching Bandai's wallet. Therefore, they can then stretch our wallet to get them. So,
looking good. Notably, all of the black bands on the suit have been painted because the way they looked at it was that if you don't have the bands, then it kind of gives the design a different look than it was intended. And they were specifically thinking it might not be very easy to put stickers on all these sort of detailed surfaces. Funny how they're thinking about that now.
Honestly, right? After how many times now?
But, round surfaces are fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I like the one photo that, even in our own Discord, looked like it got taken out of context by accident, where they show the legs and they show all these bullet points, these numbered bullet points, and it turns out that was just them saying, look at how many paint apps these are. But I was looking at it thinking, look at how many stickers this could have been.
Oh, yeah, I was terrified at first until I realized that it was the paint.
Yeah,
but
I'm very thankful.
Oh, absolutely. It looks really, really good. It just really helps it stand out and everything. I would assume that since not only since we have this figure, but since we have it like painted that well here, that they'll pretty much be the same thing for Jin whenever they get around to making him.
Yeah, and they won't have to worry much about 001. I'm not really a fan of that name, because that's mostly a Night Rogue body.
True. So basically, they already have the pieces to make Jin and 001, so I'm sure they'll be making both of those pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised if Jin is even in set 3. We just didn't see him this week.
I was thinking that too because, I don't know, it seems like they're starting to catch up a little bit.
Yeah. We're not as behind.
Coincidentally, I am a little bit behind on the show, but as far as I can tell from just what they have made artwork for and what I have not seen on the site, I assume that they have introduced a few progress keys that haven't been used for anything but attacks.
That is correct.
So until they decide to start making those into figures, they are going to catch up pretty quickly.
Yeah, the only thing that's left from the actual show that would be like in the main line would be Jin. There would be Breaking Mammoth, but that would be a Soto Mechanics thing. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And also spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead. The blog actually ended by saying next week would be more 01, more O's, and something new.
Yes, it did.
Maybe.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if that would be when that gets revealed.
Mm. Included with Horobi is the attaché arrow, which is very nice to see. Now that we've gotten 3 of these, I'm kind of looking at the briefcase version of the first one, and I'm just thinking, when are we going to get more of these? This seems like it would be pretty easy to make.
Oh, for sure. I could easily see Jin coming with the briefcase version of this one.
I was just about to say, that seems like the easiest one to do.
Yeah. He honestly could come with
Valkyrie.
It's true. They could technically give Jin both briefcase versions of the shotgun and the arrow, since he's used all 3 weapons at least once.
It'd be kind of funny if that's what they decided to, like, for some reason, toss that in with Kashin.
Oh yeah.
Then you'd have. Then if you mass produce, or if you buy a bunch of the Kashins, and you just got a bunch of briefcases, you're going to be a very happy person.
Yeah. Just a bunch of briefcases for all these figures.
And I almost forgot that, we've already started Wave 3 of 01. The first one in the list is Valkyrie in Lightning Quadrant, and now we have Horobi, so that's 2 figures down.
Yep, and that is a December release, so next month.
Yeah. Along with those, which I think I said this in the last episode, I appreciate how usually these get released at the end of the month. I appreciate that O's is at the start of the month.
Oh, is it? Yeah, that works.
It's December 2nd, so it's a good thing they've started reviewing these.
I don't know if you saw, but I've seen on Twitter this past week, I think some of the set 2s for 01 are trickling out a little early.
Oh.
Because I saw, actually I think it was today, I saw AI02 on my timeline.
Yeah, I guess that's weird. Because I was just looking at the date. The release date I thought was November 25th. So that's like a week early.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Yeah, and I wonder if that's going to be a thing from now on, because I do remember the payment request for the first wave came a few days earlier than expected.
Yeah, it's possible. It could just be a store-by-store basis or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I thought they're breaking street date? Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, I thought that was interesting because I saw tonight how they specifically mentioned set 2 for a November 25th release, and I had already seen it on Twitter, so I thought that was interesting.
So I mentioned it before. O's. Turns out we got our first review of it.
Yep, since that's coming out pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. The first one is the Data Theft Bus, also known as Tatoba.
Favorite O's form right there. Gotta love Data Theft Bus.
And as a reminder, the way that these are split up is kind of weird. The first item in the wave is the Taka head with a bunch of option parts. The third one in this set is either the legs with the display stand or the Tora and lion parts. Anyway, those are split into 3 different sets. And if you're buying the box, then you will have enough to display everything plus Tatoba.
Yep. Which works out pretty well. The part of the head where you could take the mask off, and it just leaves these like 2 gaping holes that just look kind of funny.
Thank you for that nightmare fuel.
Exactly.
Oh man, you could just use this as some sort of generic zombie thing.
That honestly makes me surprised that they didn't include the Taka head with the purple eyes.
I wonder if that's like a thing they could do for the second set.
Yeah, probably. But since it gives you like an option to take that piece off, it would have been perfect for them to include the purple eyes, since it looks like it would be able to snap in just fine.
Yeah. Speaking of, I saw this and I thought, oh, is that how the head swaps work? But it turns out they did that because the front piece is made of PVC, which means it can't be stickered, which means it's painted beautifully.
Yay. That's what we like to hear.
Yes, and looking at the photos of the other ones, I can see why that was probably a decision made on some of these others. Because, those are covered in pointy bits.
Uh-huh. No, yeah, it makes sense.
And from what I saw in the text, it sounded like this is becoming kind of a tradition now. For Chronicle, specifically.
Yeah.
It also features painted limbs, specifically like the forearms and the lower legs.
Yeah, the pieces that you can swap out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. So, because that way you can swap out for the claws and for the grasshopper legs. So.
They made a point of mentioning something about the stickers, which I think I kind of understand. Basically, they tried their best to make it match the paint, which meant it's not as glossy or metallic or whatever.
Yeah.
They explained it in terms of something about white plate. I'm guessing that's the sheet. So I wonder if that means that it's like another writer stickers, maybe?
That one is on a yellow sheet, I think. Or no, it might be the other way. No, I think you might be right.
Right. And also they made a point of mentioning that the black plastic for the body is not as polished as usual, meaning it's not as glossy, which is an intentional decision to kind of make it resemble the show. They provided a nice comparison shot with Deno showing off their butts.
Yeah, they did that.
I mean, there is an audience who likes the suit actor butts, so that works out.
Yeah. There you go.
So, what else have we got on the list? Speaking of stickers, the Metajalibur is included, and it has two different types of stickers, one with medals inside. And you would think
that's a cool one.
You would think that would make you choose, but it turns out that's part of the boxes that are used to form Tatoba. So, if you get the box set, you've got the extra.
Exactly. So you can display whichever one you want, and you have both of them.
Yeah, no need to decide. And admittedly, I missed this part. I don't know where specifically in the wave this is included, but Ankh is in there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Looking good. That was something they tried to explain this before, and it didn't really make sense without seeing it, but they basically said that it's made of multiple parts so that it would be easier to mold.
Right.
It's like the top, bottom, and the wing piece, I believe.
Makes sense.
Just as you would expect, there is a display stand peg hole for making it float, and it's nice of them to include a picture of it with the display stand because it confirms, hey, we're using the 0-1 method.
Ah, yeah, that's right. The new version of the stance, which makes sense. I figured they wouldn't go back at this point.
Oh yeah, because the molds are destroyed, or not destroyed, but as they explained, this was kind of a necessity because they have used that mold so much that they can't use it anymore.
Right. And also they would want to promote the new version of the stands, so.
And this part, I didn't even think about this. They also made a point of highlighting, hey, we included a variant of the belt that doesn't have medals in it. So if you want to properly display alternate combos, we decided to do something insane by including individual medal stickers.
Yeah, so basically you just take those stickers and put them on top of the blank sticker.
That is crazy. I'm probably never going to do that.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like going with the blank driver just on a default would look nicer, since that way you'll never technically be wrong. So
absolutely. That's always been my explanation for why the DX lines figures always look like that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes more sense. It makes it not as like noticeable or distracting when you're changing all the different forms.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that they gave you the option.
The last thing on the list, well, I guess first of all, the Progrise keys, those look nice.
Well, also they showed off a bunch of different O's like combo or mix match combos.
Oh right, I only learned this fairly recently. They refer to those as subspecies combos.
Yeah, I think they're called like random combos or something.
Yeah, they have like two different terms for it. I don't know what the kanji is for subspecies, but random combo is literally just the English words.
Yeah.
Also, fact in case you guys didn't know this, when O's is using something that's like not a main form, like Gata Kiriba, that doesn't have the word combo in it for some reason.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah. Just a very obscure fact about names of forms.
They have it all thought out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they show off a couple of them, so that looks pretty nice.
Little teasers for what's to come in these reviews.
Yep, exactly.
And we got Progrise keys. There's not much to say other than those look nice. Those look better than the Gashapon.
Yeah, there's one that's in this set for the Zetsumarais keys. I can't remember if it's one that's in that deluxe premium set, but it's here. So that's nice.
Really cool.
Something that is interesting about this Candy Toy set is that this is a perfect set to get if you did not buy the Progrise key holder or the Breaking Mammoth robot, because it comes with the two keys that those came with. So there you go.
Yeah,
that's
even though I'm probably not going to get it, I do appreciate Amazing Hercules is in there because that is a nice little beetle.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, more notably, because this is Candy Toy figure related, I guess, there is a new line it's generically called Kamen Rider Gold Figure.
Hey, that's not wrong.
Not to be confused with Goldfinger. This is a series of what they refer to as overwhelmingly cheap, overwhelmingly well molded, and an overwhelming selection of characters.
And an overwhelming... Oh, yeah, you said it. Never mind. Overwhelming lineup. Yes.
Yes, it is 180 yen per figure, or if you're buying the box, it's 2,880, and it's also specifically a box of 16, which means you're getting the entire wave.
There you go.
Also, there are 16 figures in this wave. Wow.
There is a lot.
Yes, it's basically all the writers from 01 so far, the three main writers from Geo in their strongest forms, the three main writers from Build, and then also what I'm assuming are all just popular characters, Agito, Blade, Decade, Oz, and Gaim.
It's a pretty good lineup, honestly.
Yes, I think that's why they called it an overwhelming lineup.
Yeah.
Well, also because it's a lot of figures.
And they come with a little pedestal for each of them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was actually part of the box set, but I guess that would make sense. It's cheap enough.
Yeah, just like a tiny little thing to have them so they don't fall over.
Admittedly, the first thought I had was, that might come with the box set. Also, you need to put a sticker on it, so maybe you've got to choose.
That would be the worst. 16
stickers, choose one.
Choose one. Oh, that'd be bad.
Or all of them at once. So, the other thing we have is a Shodo update, which includes just very nice photos of Shodo-O2. Those look really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I have been thinking recently about getting dioramas for better photos, and this is just like confirming, okay, with the right lighting, this would be a very good idea.
Oh, yeah. They look so good.
And the figures also do look very nice. I'm interested in the horse Orphanok myself.
Yeah, I like it fighting Faiz and Kaiza and everything.
Yeah, just also working in Kaiza from the last wave.
Yeah.
But obviously, the big news for this wave is SHODO-X 8, which comes out in March. They have revealed the figures for this wave, which are... one of them is more interesting than the other, but they're both pretty cool. One is Stronger, making a return from, I believe, an earlier wave of Shodo. Completely unrelated to the podcast, I actually just kind of looked at the previous waves to see what characters were made, just because I thought, what would you have to buy to have all the main writers in the same scale? And it turns out, they made a Stronger before. They included a comparison image and explained how this is a new head mold, as well as completely redone hands.
Looks really, really good.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, they finally made Stronger, and then I realized, oh, wait, I've seen that.
I think, is his charge up form new?
You know what? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not new, or actually I think it might be new. Anyway, that's also part of the deal because it's basically an alternate head and chest.
Yeah, and it's his only other form, so it's pretty easy to just get that out of the way.
One of the first writers with the form change.
Yeah, it is. It's that's a piece of history right there. So it's cool that it's included in the set.
Yeah, also in the set is his motorcycle because that's the SHODO-X way.
Yep. Which
boy,
looks really good.
I was gonna say it looks good, but boy, is that a silly design.
Yeah, it's definitely weird, but it's a very ride motorcycle, that's for sure.
I was gonna say, I wonder if this was the point where they started making toys because this looks very toy-like.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. But especially with the front and the back of it.
The one that immediately got everyone's attention is Kamen Rider Blade is in Shodo now.
Yep.
Finally, we have yet another Heisei rider. Or I guess not finally, because we just got one in the last wave.
Right, but it's the first time he's shown up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they made a point of mentioning that specifically, ever since Deno got revealed for Soto, there has just been a lot of fan outcry for a new figure of Blade. And
now here it is.
Yes. This includes his sword, is a Blade Rouser, I believe it was called.
Yep.
As well as alternate display parts for his... he actually comes with the Jack power-up, I think.
Does he?
It looks like an alternate forearm piece.
I don't see anything for Jack form.
I just don't remember what it looks like then. It looks like something that plugs onto the forearm, maybe. It's in the photo with the accessories.
No, yeah. I believe that is the piece. That is the piece, I believe, for Jack form, but it's not like the Jack form. Yeah.
It's like for just displaying it in a specific mid-transformation.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe it's possible, I guess, that they could maybe have Jack form in here. They just didn't show it yet or something. Possibly. But probably not.
What they also included was 3 different hands for having him hold cards.
Yep.
I guess, again, for mid-transformation stuff, this is like mid-rider kick.
Right, if you want to have him in whatever format you want. I think some of the coolest accessories are the card effects for his final attack.
Honestly, I was looking at it and I was thinking, I wonder how big those cards are, or if they're like comparable to the actual ones that they released.
They're probably relatively similar sized.
So if they cheap out on Garen, then you've probably got a way to display that one.
Yeah.
And admittedly, when I saw this faraway image of these accessories, I got really excited when I saw the red part. Turns out that's just something for the bike. I don't know exactly what, but immediately my mind went to, are they including a scarf to replicate the evil blade from the Hyper Battle video?
Oh, yeah. That would have been hilarious.
It would have been a wonderful deep cut reference because Hyper Battle video stuff usually doesn't get merchandise unless it's Hyperform attack.
Yeah, it usually does get pretty ignored.
Apart from Soto, the only merchant I can ever think of for Hyper Battle stuff, also ignoring the DX line, is whenever they make Hyperform Gattack, because apparently they have made a few things for him.
Yes, they have.
Including Converge. But yeah, that was SHODO-X 8 Blade.
Yeah, so, and Stronger.
Yes, that's coming out in March. And I believe they said it was a lineup of 5 or 6, so I guess that might give an indication that there might be more?
Yeah, 6.
So there might be a Jack form like we were speculating.
It could be. Because that would require... I mean, it would require a pretty good amount of parts, so it might just be its own figure or something.
I was going to say that they could probably justify just making it a separate figure.
Yeah, for sure. There's enough involved there that it can be its own thing.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. That was a nice bit of news, because there was one week when you were gone where we had no Rider news whatsoever. It was just like Sentai, Ultraman, and Pokemon.
Yeah, that's right. So it's always nice whenever we have a Shoto thing as well, so we can have more to talk about and everything.
Mm-hmm. So I guess one thing we didn't get to talk about because you weren't here, one thing me and Corey talked about last time was about the possibility of certain characters in Shoto or Soto. I think that might be a good topic here, since you're here.
That works.
Yeah. What we were talking about basically was the possibilities of Wizard in either Soto and Shoto. My initial thought was Soto, but Corey won me over to the idea of Shoto. What do you think?
I personally enjoy Soto more.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I like how Shoto doesn't have stickers and things like that. But I just think Soto can get more of a certain series done, because it can focus more on one specific series at a time and kind of get through everything. So something like Wizard I would like to see in a Soto line.
Yeah. I at this point I was thinking about it. I thought I can kind of see it both ways. It would actually look pretty good in the Shoto aesthetic, and either way I would be fine with having it happen just so we can get more riders out of Wizard. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing: if you don't follow merchandise, guys, Kamen Rider Mage, no figures.
Yeah, no figures at all. I would also. I would also like to see a figure of a Sorcerer, since he never got a full figure.
Yes, the Wise Man, or Shiroi Mahotsukai, he basically almost didn't get anything. He got a figure art, so he basically got something.
Yeah, for sure.
But besides him, nothing. When it comes to Mage specifically, I always think the only thing they really made was the rings. Even Gamba Rising hasn't really, as far as I know, I don't know if they've changed anything recently, but as far as I know, there are no Mage cards for Gamba Ride or Gamba Rising. There was a card for some other arcade game, a single card.
I think they've also appeared in Budabasol, I believe.
Oh, that one actually wouldn't surprise me now you mention it, because they have straight up just made their second Dark Wizard, Budabasol Metal, so...
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, Budabasol covers a lot of obscure things.
It covers things that I didn't think they were allowed to, like the stage show stuff.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it covers so many things that usually get nothing at all, so...
Also, the recent wave, like I said, it has Dark Wizard in it. It also has a lot of Drive stuff, including that mix-matched form of Heart, where he has all of Drive's forms.
Oh, yeah. I love that form.
It's just called Kamen Rider Heart with a question mark.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I guess... Just sharing what I said off mic. Unrelated to the show, I went through all of the Shoto stuff just to see what characters were available, and the conclusion that I came to on what wasn't available in terms of main writers was Shin, J, I can remove Blade from that list, and everything after O's. Those are the ones that don't really have modern figures, ignoring Soto, of course.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So there are a lot of characters that don't really have any presence in modern candy toy figures.
So, did Zeto has one? You said.
Yes, Zeto does have one. Jade doesn't, which kind of baffles me because they're so similar.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
It's like, really, we're not doing that, huh?
Because they don't even have to make like a giant figure for him, because he does have a regular size form too. So.
Yeah, and Shin, that actually makes me curious what the role is behind Shin, because Shin Kamen Rider was supposed to be like a gritty reboot for older fans. I don't know, because they have made merchandise before, so I don't know if he's necessarily off limits.
He's gotten like Legend Rider items before.
Yeah, Gaia Memories, and I wanted to say Cell Metals. I think it was something else. Oh, Wizard Ring.
He has a Lockseed too.
Yeah, so. I'm always curious about those ones, like the Amazons guys. Can we see the Amazons guys?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess, you know what's weird is that they did make Amazons things for Converge, I think, and when I was looking at older Bandai Candy Toy archives, they referred to Converge as an adult line.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I guess that's their term for things that involve, like, all these past series coming back.
I guess that makes sense. It makes sense more to target that kind of audience that would like know what they all are and everything.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. What do you think out of anything from Forza to Ghost? What do you think you would want to see and where?
Ghost, I definitely would love to see a SHODO Chronicle set for.
That one I was so sure was going to happen when we got Shinobi and Decade Armor Ghost form. I was
because
I was saying the parts are all there. Why isn't this happening?
You're right. I didn't even think of that. That's true. They already have some things to work with on that. Well, I just think it's because like it works really well because Ghost was the series right before SHODO actually started officially. So I just think it would be nice to kind of go back and I mean, really, honestly, all the series from Forza through Ghost who never got SHODO sets, I would love to see get Chronicle, because I kind of see like the pre-Decade stuff as, well, SHODO has been covering all that, so I kind of see that as like off limits to SHODO kind of, and then I see kind of the post-Decade stuff kind of off limits to SHODO, in a way.
Yeah, yes, but also I'm thinking about like we have two series that have now made it into SHODO and SHODO.
That's true.
I think it's worth noting, back when they showed off a bunch of the Decade Armors in one of the blog posts, it had a little gag where it zooms out and shows Shoto Ryuki watching, and he says something along the lines of, SHODO looks like it's pretty fun, and then Gio just walks over and says, I don't think you meet the requirements for SHODO, but I have a good feeling about Decade Armor. So, even though it was kind of a gag, it did make me think, oh, they actually are kind of thinking about what fits.
I mean, it just really kind of comes down, in like my opinions, to where I just want to see the SHODO treatment of like doing every form applied to any series. I don't really like have a personal like, oh, I really want this series. I mean, there are ones I like more than others, but one day I would just like to see every series get the full on, every form gets a figure that's on the same kind of scale.
And I definitely have brought this up a couple times before, but someone definitely suggested a good way to do all of these writers who don't really have proper form changes is to just do a SHODO Decade Chronicle series. So it's just like, it's basically a self-contained figure that you can put a Deca driver on.
That works. Yeah.
Now that we've had the future writers, I think that would actually be pretty doable. It would just be very expensive for them to make.
True. But, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. I think, I mean, they're pretty full right now with, like, what they have going on, because, O's they're about to start up. They're still going with Double. I would imagine that Den-O would be coming back with more stuff. At some point.
I was just thinking about that earlier. Like, oh yeah, did they not make a Zeronos in SHODO? Nope, they didn't even make a Den-O, so nope.
Yeah, there's a lot of Deno riders that they can do. Lots of premium set material.
Because not only have I been thinking about like what lines have done main riders, but I've also thought about like what are the possibilities of SHODO-O's doing a figure birth? Should I just get a Shodo birth? I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, because with O's, there's still forms for him to get, but then it's like, do we? I would imagine that they would want to do Aqua after what happened last year with that. So but we'll have to see.
You just made me realize they could do birth and then say, and here's the optional sticker sheet for birth prototype.
Oh no. They could do, yeah, they could definitely make that. I would hope that they would make that 2 different figures.
I could totally see them just including the stickers and saying, if you want a separate one, buy an extra.
True. Yeah, that would also be a thing. Or I could maybe see them, like, they paint the thing and it's an option of switching the chest plate or something like that. Because that's really all the difference is just the red circle on the chest. So,
we talked about a few of the different series that haven't really gotten modern figures yet, but I will say, I think that Forze is a good contender for SHODO.
Yeah, I think it could work with all the different switch changes, all the different modules.
Yeah, like we have examples of that with like Gio's Forze armor, where it's just something that is like split in half that you put on the top and bottom. So they could get a lot of stuff done just with that sort of method.
Oh, for sure, right.
And then there's also things like removing the Shin armor and plugging something on in place of that. Like, the SHODO line really is just like a good place for Forze. Just in the play style.
It could definitely work. And he doesn't have... I mean, he has a number of forms, but he doesn't have like a ton of forms that should take too long to get through.
Yeah, I could also, like, now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking, like, oh, what would the wave lineup be? Maybe it would be, like, base states, elect states, and then fire states, and then maybe, like, a wave or 2 of modules.
Yeah, I could see something like that. And then, like, a second set could be, like, magnet, cosmic, and then maybe the fusion forms or a rocket or something like that.
Oh, you know at least 2 of those things are going to be in Premium Bandai Wave.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And then we could do rocket drill states, since that only ever happened in a Hyper Battle DVD.
Oh, right. I forgot about that one.
So that would be an interesting one for them to do, since that doesn't have any kind of figure. But that would pretty much get it all covered with Forze. I mean, there is a novel exclusive launcher states, but I doubt they would do that.
Plus, there's also a novel exclusive writer that they have absolutely no visuals to work with.
That is also true. That is something I would love to see them do, though, as like a way to like give it visuals, because they can pretty much make that however they would want, I guess.
You know, now that you mentioned that, I just realized, they technically might not even have an excuse apart from there not being any merchandise to sell, because you have the CSM O's driver where they made artwork for all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And I believe that was artwork by whoever like designs the suits or something. I remember seeing
it was done by Plex.
Okay, yeah, it was Plex. Because I was going to say they know how to make a suit, so.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I still would love to see SHODO cover those CSM-O's forms, because it's just really cool that they like made like the concepts of those. So it'd be cool to actually get like something physical of those.
It's a risky pre-order, but I did end up like pre-ordering both the O's waves in addition to the 0-1 stuff. But like, if it ends up on Premium Bandai, then it's like, okay, I can just appreciate that this exists. I'm going to be both happy and mad if it hits retail.
Hey, and maybe, like how that double set went up on Amazon. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some premium sets could end up their way over here via like Bluefin or something like that. So it's possible.
So I'll be mad either way, because then I'll have to have that. Yeah, that small thing. According to someone in our Discord, that was actually officially a Bluefin decision to put that on Amazon.
That makes sense. That's cool though. I like that a lot.
Basically confirming, yeah, that's us. That's legit.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
It was nice to see that go up there because it was just kind of unexpected, and it was already also pretty far along into the pre-order process of that set too. So that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Since we've known about that one for quite a while.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to be as much of a talking point as it was. I was just like, I feel like I've seen premium Bandai stuff on Amazon before, but then I thought about it. I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen premium Bandai stuff when it's being sold by someone who already has it. So the fact that it's a pre-order, the fact that it's pre-order is a big talking point because, one, oh, if that's real, then that's awesome. Two, if it's fake, oh no, those poor people.
Yeah, honestly. So it was a good way to talk about either way. And then also, if it, and it ended up being real, but also that opens the door to just, not even just Shoto things, but just so much of all of the stuff that is premium Bandai that is so hard for us to get over here.
Yeah, because the premium Bandai situation is weird, because I know that at some point they opened up the possibility, but then I also, for Tokusatsu Network, since I do a lot of articles about products that are coming out on premium Bandai, a thing that I see a lot is item is not available outside of Japan.
Yep, it's pretty much just I think it's just the clothing items, or even just some of those that are available to least, North America and stuff.
Well, at least those are available.
Yeah, it's something.
Does that count does the Huma Gear module count as clothes? I don't know.
I don't think so, since it has like electronics and stuff in it.
And it's also DX.
Right, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's being counted as a toy.
And I hope that someone can make like a cheap version for cosplayers to buy.
Oh, I'm sure someone will. That seems like something that can be pretty easily... Yeah, because that seems like something like even be like 3D printed or something.
And I guess these are good reference images.
That is true. These are very good reference images of that.
Really, I'm glad that it exists as an official item, but really my concern was, are cosplayers going to be able to easily get that? Because I know a lot of people who would want to cosplay.
Yeah. It is cool though that it has like the changing lights and all the different phrases and everything. It's pretty cool.
The one thing I was looking for is, does it have the one phrase, the English phrase?
Oh, the
make a dream real.
Yeah. The activation noise, yeah.
I'm guessing that will be the activation noise when you switch it on, but it didn't really say.
It would make sense. I feel like that'd be a big missed opportunity if it isn't.
Exactly.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah. I don't know. Were you able to listen to the last episode where we're talking about this stuff?
I did not get a chance.
Okay. I can't remember if we did talk about Force A. Wizard was definitely the one we talked about. Gaim, that's always going to be my go-to for Shoto because it is just so perfect.
Oh yeah, Gaim would be so good. There's so many things that, not even just like that I want to see Shoto cover, but like there's just so many things that like Arms Change never got to and things like that I love to see Gaim do.
I will also add that when I said it's so perfect, I was referring to Gaim, but yes, also Shoto Gaim is also pretty perfect.
Yes.
And we also talked about, I think it was Corey who said that Drive would actually be pretty good for either one. I think that was a conclusion we made.
That's fair.
And Ghost, I was saying Shoto Ghost, but he actually kind of made a good point of Shoto could probably do that pretty well as well.
With all the different, even counting in like all the different damashis and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was his. I think his focus was just it would look good visually.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because thinking about it, there's not really that much in terms of detailing or variety of colors. Yeah,
not really. Yeah, they're pretty basic suits, but like they're also like complex at the same time. It's interesting.
Yeah, now you mentioned it about the Gaim stuff too, all the things they never got to. Yeah, that was actually the point where the main figure line started to dip a little bit in terms of variety.
I think it's just because they got like overwhelmed with Gaim because they just made so many different forms that Arms Change was trying to get caught up and they just never could.
I imagine it was that, and also just seeing how they were like, with Drive, they were like, okay, we're doing a couple different pre-orders if you guys are into that. And then with Ghost, they were like, here's one pre-order, or like premium Bandai stuff, I mean.
Right.
And it's like, after that, they stopped doing premium Bandai stuff, so I thought, I wonder if they're starting to recognize that there's not as much of an audience for all the major stuff. And then by Build, it was like, we're making Cross Z charge, but not regular Cross Z? Okay.
Yeah, like, it was really... I mean, because the X8 thing, I just always assumed that there was no premium level up rider figures because of SHODO being a thing.
Oh, wait, I just remembered there was one thing for X8. That was a level 1 body for X8.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did forget about that.
And they never made any more.
And then Build had one thing. It was the... the pipe
snap,
set thing, whatever that was called.
Yeah. Okay, so they have kind of been doing these, but RKF has not had anything, I don't think.
No, they have not. Yeah. That has been...
Actually, yes, I would know that because I actually work for Tokusatsu Network, so...
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to SHODO kind of taking it and kind of like, making sure it's covered.
I was going to say it's SHODO really just taking the spotlight from them.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, man, these guys are managing to make everything.
Yeah, because, hey, it works.
My mental image at this point is just that the people who are working on RKF are trying their best to make everything, but then they're just kind of nervously looking at the SHODO office, just like, they're going to one-up us this year. They're going to do something else that's crazy.
I just think RKF still has like a pretty good place though, because it's just for the people that just want like a figure where they don't have to put it together or sticker or anything like that. And if they're not gonna go after everything, because they cover the important stuff. They cover the main riders and their main forms. So
yeah, and I just realized this recently. The thing that's kind of interesting about 01 is that the RKF line has just become focused on making figures with no gimmick. Like,
yeah.
Recently, they just released a figure for 01 that's called the Hybrid Rise figure. It's basically a 01 that comes with 5 different sets of armors. And It's like, that made me realize, oh, wait, they haven't been doing this.
Yeah, right. The armors had not gotten anything until that, so... And
I had to just, like, compare it to the 01 that was already released, like... Oh, I didn't realize that was just like a self-contained figure without a gimmick.
Yeah, it was just a Rising Hopper figure.
Yeah.
Which is like, it looks better. Yeah, it works. They did the 5 main riders for 01, and they're doing like the upgrade forms and stuff, but like they haven't announced anything for Punching Khan or for Lightning Hornet and stuff like that. But SHODO's got them covered, so it works.
I'm pretty sure they're never going to make those.
I don't think they will either, so... I'd be surprised if they do.
They probably mentioned something in the toy catalog, now I say that.
Well, not for those yet, not yet.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure that they showed a lineup of everything that's going to be coming out.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, the only things that are really coming out are, like, for the new quarters is, like, Thouser and kind of, like, the main 01 and Vulcan upgrades that are about to happen. So... Yeah. Stuff that like makes sense to get like a main figure line release.
Really, I'm more interested in seeing what the reason I didn't even notice that for this long is because I was way more interested in seeing what the Legend Rider series is going to do.
That's true, yeah, because they're going to keep going with double ones, so
they're going to run out eventually.
Oh yeah, they will, yeah, but at least they're going to be making Heat Metal and Lunar Trigger, so we'll see how far they go with that.
I just realized they're probably going to move on to O's or something.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do O's or if they do Deno next.
Yeah, that actually wouldn't be so bad.
No.
It's just because when I'm looking at the Legend Rider series, I'm just like, please make more than 2 series this year.
Yeah, honestly. But I kind of feel like that they'll just keep doing 2 and just kind of see how that goes.
It's just like like Lightning Collection, they can just kind of make it a little bit more slowly so they can get more mileage out of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of, just a small aside on Lightning Collection, that Blaze looks very good.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I got the basic figure of Blaze, and now I'm just like, well, I guess I gotta sell this.
Oh, I know, it looks incredible.
Mm-hmm. And I also recently saw some photos from a friend of Steel. That actually looks pretty good, the basic figure.
Oh, yeah, that's the one Beast Morphers basic figure that I still need to find.
It's got actual hips.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it a lot.
So, I guess that was a good episode, and that was like a topic of random miscellaneous topics. I'd say that's a good episode. That's almost an hour.
I'd say so, too. I think that was pretty good.
Yes. Small aside, I opened up with a Tachibana reference, and I actually had that written down for another blade. So it's very funny that I actually had a reason to use it here.
There you go. That worked out really well.
Anyway, that's an episode.
That is an episode. So I think that will do it here for the 37th episode of the Soda Pop Podcast.
Check us on all the places the podcast is available.
Yeah, on the YouTube, on that one site that I can't think of.
That other one?
That other one. It will be in the description, probably.
Something. Yeah. That site, Spotify, that site.
Yes, yeah, that one thing. All the things in the description that Corey will probably put there.
Discord.
The Discord. That is a thing.
I have spammed so many photos when I was on my journey to make a custom Deno platform armor.
So you can check all of that out on the Discord if you want to see how that went. Or just talk Soto and Shodo and Yudo, all the stuff like we do here.
People were very excited for... There was at least one person in there who was very excited about the blade.
Well, there you go. That's perfect. It's always nice to see people as excited for the stuff as we are, so... But I think that will do it for this episode. So, yeah, you can check out all of the stuff in the description, and I guess we will talk to you all next week.
Yes, keep it juicy.
Goodbye.
Force ride, sing the scorpion. SHODO-X!